It is chicken dinner on a Thursday night. Welcome to it. The 18th time we've been live with you on YouTube and X, and a great show that we have for you. 3 great guests, allegedly. I know 2 of the 3 will be here, waiting on number 3. It's like playing Where's Waldo, only with real people and with a grown man. But we'll get into that in about 10 minutes from now. Alan Berg, Motoi Pearson, and Dave Sharapan slated to join me at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Are you ready? These guys have bet the big game, and they booked the big game. And we're also very good friends. So should be a very fun time, maybe like 30 to 40 minutes. Some people have deadlines, and some people need to go out tonight because it's been a long couple of weeks, if you know what I mean. I'm tired of talking about this game. So let's talk about Sunday between the Chiefs and Eagles. Let me pull up the board here on Odds Logic. Very sad at the end of every football season to see this bad boy and only have one game. I'm crying internally as you see it. Kansas City still holding steady, although maybe not as steady as last week when this was creeping toward 2. Chiefs -1 at so many shops. Pinnacle, Chris, Circa, Superbook, South Point. The domestics are still 1.5. And then you go to the right side. That's what I have on my offshores. Look at this. Bang, 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 bang. All ones. So that in itself tells you a lot. And we've heard some rumors all week that some of the best betting groups in the world are on the Eagles. That said, we've seen this movie before. And we've heard this story before about people betting against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's happened in several AFC championships. It happened 2 years ago in this exact matchup when the Eagles went off as a 2.5 point favorite and lost. You know the drill if you're betting against Mahomes. And quite frankly, I find myself there again. I took 1.5 with Philly and also took a little bit on the money line at +110 because as we've heard on our show all week and last week, Bet Sweats, bookmakers believe there's a very good chance the Eagles go off the favorite. So if you like Philly, there's no reason to wait. And when Chris and Pinnacle and Circa are sitting 1, you have to imagine these BetMGM numbers and DraftKings and FanDuel's go off 1.5 pretty soon and come closer to the middle. Why would you wait until Sunday and jeopardize? I also have a bunch of respected friends that are on Kansas City. I did Rob Pizzola's show yesterday on Forward Progress, and Rob's very good at betting the NFL. And he said on his show, I'm waiting until post to bet the Chiefs. So you're going to see sharp people on both sides. It's also not fun betting against the best player in the NFL. And Andy Reid is arguably the best coach in the last 10 years. Last 10, I'm being careful there. Definitely in the last 5. But there's a conversation between Belichick and Reid. Bill has more titles. Bill also had Brady. What Reid's done with this offense over and over and over again has been remarkable. New pieces, new players, new running backs, new linemen, Joe Tooney playing all over the field. It's a fun matchup. And it's something I expect to get a whole lot of handle in Vegas because this isn't a 10-point spread or a 14-point mark. This is 1 with a total 48.5, 49. You're going to get a lot of people that have opinions on this game. People like the Eagles. People like the Chiefs. People love the Chiefs. People fucking hate the Chiefs. You get all of that, which makes for a highly handled Super Bowl. So not much movement in the last 24 hours. Last 48, we've seen a lot of those 1.5s go away. There's a rumor that Billy Walters' group is on the Eagles. Great. Billy's been right on a lot of Super Bowls before. He's also been wrong on some Super Bowls. It's the Super Bowl. Anybody acting like they have a clue what's going to happen is full of it. But there are still ways you can bet this game. And we'll talk about some of them. Let me share the picks I made on Chicken Dinner. Very, very trying year for sides and totals. As you see the record right there, 74-68. It was a war this year. Okay, not a war. That's a little dramatic. But I go back to October, and I was, with the free picks, of course, on Chicken Dinner, I was down 7 units or something. So to get back to even, honestly, feels like a win this year, as I show you the record on YouTube and X. 74-68, up 0.1. Yay. All that for this. Last year was a lot better. I'm going to share this tab. This is last year's Super Bowl slate. Much better record, 59-45 coming into the Super Bowl, plus 9.6. But this year has been a war. I love seeing that use check bet, or those bets. 1 catch over 3.5 yards. Second play of the game, pow. It's a great year last year. This year, not so much with the free stuff, sides and totals. I do love that first quarter under, though. Last 10 Super Bowls, if you do the average first quarter 6.6. Now, that's not why I bet it. That's just a supplementary piece to my first quarter handicap. I believe in these defensive lines. I believe that it's easier for defenses in Super Bowls early because you've had 2 weeks to prep for this stuff. And these offenses, not exactly in rhythm, in sync, haven't played. Now, it's not like we can compare a preseason game, week 1 game, to a Super Bowl, but there has been the off time, and the timing might not be where it is when you're playing week to week to week. I also have looked at the way the Chiefs have played in a lot of these Super Bowls. They've been low and slow. Ironically enough, much like Brady and the Patriots were. Patriots scored a goose egg in many first quarters in Super Bowls. Last year, Chiefs-Niners, 0-0. Now, I do think you're going to get points eventually, and that's why I went first quarter, not full game, with the way that these two teams could swing on a dime. I'm under 9.5, though, first quarter. 7-0, 3-0, 3-3, nothing, whatever. 10's going to beat me, and if it happens, I'll tip my cap. We like the under on punts. That's a bet from my buddy Vegas Rick. That's moved a little bit. I see BetMGM has minus 140 now to go under. You know, the way the Chiefs can sustain drives and the way the Eagles go for it on fourth, I feel like we're going to get a lot of stuff that crosses the 50, and then from there, these teams aren't going to punt. My opinion. I like Goddard. I went touchdown, though. I'm seeing all these books report Dallas Goedert receiving yards, the number one prop, 95% of the bets, and you're like, oh, okay. Not that it kept me off entirely, but I like Goddard inside the 20. He has that ability in man coverage, which the Chiefs play a bunch of, to make a catch, turn upfield, break a tackle, and score. And broken plays, anything can happen. The tight end, as my friend Stanford Steve says, the tight end's usually open on a broken play. And Goddard's just a very good pass catcher. So I like that. I love those odds, 333. And then we're going under on Noah Gray. Talked about this for 2 weeks now. If Noah Gray catches a pass over the middle for 20 yards, I'm going to lose thousands of dollars. And it's okay. Everything will be okay. The sun will come up tomorrow. But this is a bet that I really think is strong because the healthier Kansas City's offense has gotten, the less they've gone to Noah Gray. He didn't even have a target against Buffalo. And really, as Kelsey has ramped up and played more snaps, Gray sees less targets. You also have Pacheco back in the mix, and I think we're going to see him quite a bit. We have Hollywood Brown back in the mix. Look, Gray could get there. Of course he could. It'd be silly to think he can't catch 2 passes. It's not a lot. Not like he needs 8 to beat me. But I think you're going to see a lot more Kelsey and a lot more Hopkins and a lot more Pacheco. You've got Kareem Hunt. They've got a lot of weapons. And they're going to throw the ball a lot. I was talking to some guys who think that they're going to use the short passing game as an extension of the run, which is not really a hot take or not really a surprise. Get the ball to Mahomes and get it out of his hands quickly. That's how you get through or get around that Eagles D-line. Eagles defense, very good, though. So we'll see. I don't think Noah Gray is going to beat me in the Super Bowl. And if he does, so be it. And on this show, there we go. Bang. Eagles plus 1.5. These picks were made on February 3rd, so 3 days ago. And if we have a good Super Bowl, we'll have a winning season, at least with the sides and totals. You see this backdrop right over my left shoulder. Guess I should bring that up. The newly minted morning show on the BetMGM network. No more BetQL network, BetMGM network. And the new show is called Bet Sweats. You can see it there. I have all my silly trinkets like Mr. Potato Head on the shelf and helmets that I've won on bets. And there's Krusty the Clown right there. So the morning show has been awesome. The network has been great. We've all been busting our ass all season. And we are now the BetMGM network, which is very, very cool. And I see Dave Sharapan in the chat here. He's been on the show. I'm sure he's champing at the bit to get back on here and ask me if I'm drunk or high or both. The answer, Dave, neither at this point in time. Neither. Tonight, though, different story. I'm telling you, this game, I can't wait for it to get here. We've talked about it for so long. And at the end of the day, when it comes to a Super Bowl, you could be dead on for 2 weeks or you could be dead wrong for 2 weeks. And for guys like me and Dave, you can be dead wrong in multiple cities for 2 weeks, going on all these shows and doing all these things. And everybody wants to talk about the Super Bowl. I don't know what color the Gatorade is going to be. We don't have any intel yet, like we did years ago with the blue Gatorade in Tampa, when the Bucs had blue Gatorade and the Chiefs had no offensive line, and the Bucs won the game, and they were 130 on the money line, but 8-1 on the blue Gatorade, and the blue Gatorade hit. Don't have any of that this year. We did, though, last week. Before I get to my guess here, did we not talk about the national anthem under? BetOnline had 125 seconds last Wednesday when we had Chris and Pat on from the 108. It's now 120 and a half. So there's been some steam on the under in the anthem. Those are usually one-way traffic. It's not like a basketball game where when guys come in and take 8 and 7 and get it down to 6, there's some resistance at 6. Guys will lay 6 back the other way. There are not wise guys waiting to bet back the anthem for the most part. That's usually a one-way ticket, and it's moved almost 5 seconds. So those are the plays. Again, first quarter under 9.5, under on the punts, under on Gray, catches and yards, Goddard to score, and the Eagles plus 1.5. All right, let me bring in 2 of my very handsome guests, Dave Sharapan, Alan Berg.
Whoa.
I don't know where Motoi Pearson is. I don't think anybody knows. I said off the top, it's like an adult version of Where's Waldo. It really, he hasn't texted me back in 2 days.
No.
So I don't know what's happening. But gentlemen, welcome to the Thursday night live episode of Chicken Dinner. How we doing?
I'm great. AB looks great. You sound great, Sammy. The background looks great. Krusty getting a prime spot back there. That's important. Crust is a big part of our text thread, which the Basura will never die. Even if Mo doesn't participate, the Basura is never going to die.
This is also a baby Jay Cornegay bobblehead. I asked Jay, I go, could they have made this bobblehead any smaller when they made this?
That's
about
small.
I mean, it's like here's the size of a coffee mug, and here's the Jay Cornegay bobblehead. It's very little. So Jay saw the set, or not a set. This is my living room / office. And I said, what do you think? And he goes, living large in the front row. And I go, well, not really. I mean, you're Derrick Rose is dwarfing you on the right, but I don't know. You guys were in the back for a long time, and obviously we're doing different things in our lives at this point. But Alan, I mean, you're in the back of these Super Bowls, booking it at the win at a high level, high limits. Guys are coming in, firing. At what point do you feel good about the position that you've set up for yourself? You know, because you start taking these bets Sunday night, championship weekend, and then it goes not nonstop, but it goes pretty heavy for 2 weeks. What's it like being in the back?
Yeah, I mean, you think you have a position, and then 4 hours later, you're like, oh, that's interesting. Like, we just shifted like $500,000. I didn't necessarily want to do that, but when guys come in with bags, and you try to take bets as you go, and it's an experience. I personally can't stand it. It's like one of my least favorite days of the year because you can book the hell out of the game and then you lose every prop, or you lose the game and you win most of the props. So it's one game. That's the thing you always have to tell the execs. It's one game.
But they also, Dave, they don't want to hear that when the house gets crushed. It's more than just one game when it goes way, way schizo.
Oh, I mean, AB and I spent a few seasons out at the M, and we were taking bags on the regular. And I mean, the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl was booked perfectly, and we needed the Seattle Seahawks to win against the Patriots. And when I was already gone, and I was at a Super Bowl party with the kids and their softball team, and when he threw that interception, I knew what that meant. It swung over $2 million, like that play. And it's ugly.
At your shop. It's just your shop.
Just our shop. Yeah. It was ugly. And we nailed it. I mean, Seattle's supposed to win that game, and it's going to be a monster day. And then, the props and everything else was good. And I remember texting the guys that were still at the office and was like, how bad is it? And they're like, nobody's talking. One guy texted me and said, nobody's talking. See you Wednesday. I was off Monday and Tuesday. Couldn't even mention it when I went back on Wednesday, Sammy. And, we have so many stories. The first time we did the props at the M, we opened them up for $2 a pop. And MC's in the back, putting them up, typing them in. We're taking $2 a whack. I trained a kid. The first day he worked was that day. Showed up. We wrote $720,000 worth of bets in 3 hours. It was insane. So it is one game, but the suits don't understand that. AB's right. They don't understand it. They never will.
And there's no Monday Night Football to get it all back. That's the problem. If you get buried on the Super Bowl, there's no way around it because the handle lessens. People are betting less and less when football season comes to an end. So you're not going to get it back in the NBA on a Monday. You're just not. I've talked to many guys over the years that have booked these bets, and Chris Andrews told the story one time where Michael Gaughan, like the game ends and Michael Gaughan's on the phone, he sees it ringing and he picks it up, and Chris is like, "Hello," and Michael says, "Not good, not good." And there's nothing you can say.
Nothing.
But there have been Super Bowls where it's been very good for the house. Patriots Rams comes to mind.
Oh,
the 13-3 game. I mean, that's good for the house. Not to mention the first Patriots-Rams game when the Rams are a 14-point favorite. That was probably good for the house. Robert Walker booked the $4 million bet or whatever on the game, money line. But then there are Super Bowls, Alan, like Philly in New England, when it was 41-33 and everybody's catching touchdowns and going over totals and ball goes in the air. You just got to pray sometimes behind the counter.
Every time this year comes around, all I think about is that damn Patriots season where they almost went undefeated and then stuck it to us one last time on the way out. Like as soon as the books all went to these ridiculous numbers of -17, there was a -24, if I recall right. And that was, they almost lost like to a terrible, I think, team. And, like the swing of the NFL season in itself is crazy. The Super Bowl can just be the biggest nightmare ever because if you win, right, everybody just goes, well, you should have won. You took all this action. And okay, cool. And then you lose. You're literally going, I have to find out what the rest of the city did, what the rest of the United States did. Because if we got killed and so did everybody else, you got something. If we got killed and it was break even, then it's like, oh, this is a problem. This is not great.
Yeah. Talking about the city getting killed and the Patriots. When the Giants beat them the first time,
oh yeah,
we ran out of money.
That's exactly what I'm. That's exactly the Super Bowl I'm talking about.
Yep. We ran out of money. I was working upstairs at the Golden Nugget in the ballroom, and I was 1,000 people in the room. I was the only window. I was writing and souping at the same time, and I literally ran out of money and said, "You're going to have to go downstairs. I don't have any money left." I closed. We had to get 4 fills that night from the cage. I was off Monday, Tuesday, and went back to work Wednesday, and I got 4 fills on Wednesday, Sam, myself, because we ran out of money during the day cashing that. So AB's right. The Patriots, they stuck it to everybody on the way out. They covered every number until the last 3 weeks of the season. And then, do you remember, AB, we stopped doing teasers at the Nugget back then, because you had -17 and 41.
Yeah. Which is insane to shut off in the NFL. It gets shut off in college football when you have Bama minus like 49.5 and the total is like 56. Makes sense. Super Bowl,
turn them off.
Yeah.
Turn them off.
Oh my God.
17 and 41, really?
Those were that's were like, week 15. That was the game against the Dolphins or something. And we literally were turning people away from the count. You can't use the Patriots or the total in the same teaser. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's the NFL. I can't help you. This was the decision. And it probably wasn't a bad decision from the book standpoint. But, man, and we turned down a bet that year. Somebody tried to lay 420 on that game. They walked in with 42,000 to win 10. And the market was at 440. And we didn't let them take the bet. And that's when I thought, oh boy, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. You're worried about the $2 we're not taking? 42 to win 10 or 44 to win 10? No, we don't want it. You got too good of a number. I couldn't believe
Jeez.
it. Yeah.
I want to keep telling stories. I'm also pouring myself my first shot of the day.
There we go.
Yeah, it's ready. I mean,
Get loose.
Dave, I'm so tired of talking about this game. This is also for those that have watched for a long time. This was my Christmas bonus from VEASAN one year. It's a shot glass. That was
Hey.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
as big as the Carnegie bobblehead.
It actually, you know what? It might.
It's
Pretty-
close.
Oh, so
Close.
close.
It's close.
Only shoulder high.
Yeah, I remember they told us that first year that I was there. You know, we got Christmas bonuses for everybody, and we're all excited. We walk over to the back, and there's just a bunch of bags with what do they call it? Paper mache, like little bags. And you're like, all right, well, there's got to be a bunch of money in there. And it was 2 of these with a note that said, "Thanks for helping us take our big shot." And I almost died. That almost did it, like on the spot. Dave, you go first as somebody who's now betting more than booking, obviously.
Yep.
And then Alan, you go after him. Just this game in general on where you guys stand. Should the Chiefs be favored? Do the Eagles eventually flip? Thoughts on side or total?
I, still talking to guys in the business and doing it on BVB every day. And we had on Derek Stevens today. We had on Chris Andrews yesterday. And they said it's slow. And it makes sense because it just saw the game 2 years ago. Now, I'm not besmirching the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. They've earned their spot. They belong here. I mean, they had a little help along the way, but they're still the best team in the AFC. Where am I at? I'm with you. I'm done talking about it. I'm so I've been at the media row for the last 3 years. I didn't go to New Orleans because I was like, you know what? I don't need another hat, 1. And 2, I don't want to talk about this game for 2 weeks. I got enough. I think Philly's going to win, Sam. I think Philly's going to be able to run the ball. I still like the over, but a lot of guys I know are on the under, so it makes perfect sense. I like these props you're doing. It's been a rough season for people that like dogs.
Oh, crushed. October, I got crushed.
Yeah, this would be the perfect way to end it. Like AB talking about on the way out. Kansas City wins by double digits and covers the teasers, and the public wins, and it's an all-time year.
AB?
There's still football. I'm confused.
Are you watching NBA? You're excited
funny.
about NBA, aren't you?
I'm watching BKFC mostly these days, but basically, I just like people getting punched in the face. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you're a big Lakers guy again, right? Because they got Luka.
Don't get me started on
I'm
that.
wearing all the Lakers stuff for you.
We need a full-on investigation. Can we get Trump and Musk on this thing? How the hell did that trade get approved?
By the way, is Pelinka? I said this morning. Pelinka's just getting drunk, texting people "you up?" ? And they're all answering.
Apparently.
And it's the first one. He doesn't need to send 2 or 3, Dave. He sends one, and there's I'm up, and then bang.
It's fascinating. It happened at almost 10 o'clock on Saturday night, and I had a hall pass. I'm over hanging out at the Durango, and I'm betting the game, the basketball game in game, and just whatever. And I'll get the text, and I'm like, wait, this can't be real. First thing I thought was it can't be real, and then I laughed and AB's a big fantasy guy. He runs leagues for years. I almost texted you Saturday night, AB, and said, if you were the fantasy commissioner of this, would you have approved this trade?
I mean, in certain leagues, yes, because I allow people to be morons. But they got this. Is the only thing I'm going to say about this. And we'll move back to the game. They gave up 2 firsts for Mark Williams and 1 for Luka Doncic. Let that simmer.
I didn't thought about it that way.
I don't understand. Yeah. I don't know.
There was this rumor too that they traded Connect because he's not passing Bronny the ball when they're in the game together.
Oh,
LeBron whacked Connect because he's not passing the ball to Bronny. Oh, it's so funny. And then I'm sure you guys have seen the memes on the internet, the AI posts of Luka, Bronny, the trophy in the middle. It's so funny. It makes me laugh.
It's unbelievable. But so that kind of took a little steam out of the beginning of the week for this game, which was nice for content creators and people in the business because, you get to ask these questions like, what would you move the Lakers to? Do you think they're going to win the title now? I would pause on that. I don't know, but it makes them more realistic to do it if Luka comes back and he's healthy. What does it do to Dallas? I mean, Dallas's lineup isn't the worst thing in the world right now. I mean, does it rule them out? I don't think so. The West is a mess. But I immediately thought of like cross-sport props and Super Bowl in this week. I haven't looked yet. Do the Lakers play on Sunday or no?
They play Saturday.
Okay. So, you could do Saturday things to Sunday. Those are always my favorite, Sam. I love the cross-sport stuff. I got the Super Bowl prop packet right here with me. It's 50 pages. There's so many things now. The guys do an unbelievable job, but they get so creative. I don't even know. What is that to win the West? Sammy, are you
7-1.
on this?
No, I'm not. I just laugh at the price. I mean, the FanDuels and DraftKings of the world have 750. MGM has 7, and then Caesars has 650. The thing about booking Lakers in Vegas is that you guys get all that California money that comes in.
Yep.
Right? I
Very
mean,
true.
it's not far to go from LA to Vegas or just cross the border. And there's a lot of Lakers fans that live in Vegas to begin with.
True.
But 7-1 to win the West, no chance. No chance.
All liability prices, I would say, from
Of course.
Joe Street.
So that was a nice 4-minute escape to not have to talk about the game, Alan.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, no, that's the
Are you going to
transition I was
watch it,
looking
AB?
for.
Seriously, are you going to watch the game?
I'm sure I will. I'm so over the NFL. As far as I'm concerned, the season ended when Caleb Williams beat the Packers.
Oh,
But I digress.
by the way, I'm sorry Virginia croaked today. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry to hear about that.
Yeah. R.I.P. Man.
Pay all respects.
I'm gonna hold back. So the game, right? I'm very upset because I've made a Super Bowl prop lifetime of betting under 1.5 yards for the shortest touchdown in the game.
Love that prop.
And the public would always pound the over, and I'd get an incredible price every year. And thanks to Hertz and the tush push nonsense,
You ruined that.
the price is garbage. So
It's terrible.
that's pretty much the only one I usually target every single year. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I'm thrilled about this year with these packets.
Sammy, it came up with the game on one of my shows, or one of the things I was talking about with somebody. How do you see this game playing out? And I immediately thought back to the Super Bowl we spent together in the Westgate, watching, Kansas City lose to Tampa Bay. I said, this game's going to play out like that, where the Philadelphia defense is going to put pressure on Mahomes and force them to have to kind of abandon the running game. I would look to play a lot of the Kansas City guys under as far as rushing props, except maybe Pacheco. I feel like he's the guy that could have the game. A lot of people are on Hunt, and I just don't see it. But I then thought about, I was just on with you and Joe O, and you brought up that story where you literally high kicked Paulie while in the middle of the game. Like, I can't believe you still did that. You did like a handstand and up kicked Paulie. He took it like a champ.
I kicked him right in the chin.
Right in the chin.
Yeah, that was tough. It was a tough look. I got up. I felt so bad. I was embellishing a story, Alan, which I never do. And I decided to do this backflip, and my backflip turned into Sweet Chin Music. I Shawn Michaels them right in the jaw. And he didn't even go down, which is maybe sad for me because I'm 6'2", 220. Like, he should have went down like a sack of potatoes.
He went down, Sammy. He got up real fast, though. He didn't
did go down?
He went down, yeah, because I thought
I'm glad I can
oh
still
my
knock
God.
people down.
It was quick. Mo didn't even flinch. Mo was standing beside us. Mo's not here tonight. The bet probably is going to cash on the Mo.
Yeah, I know.
That was a bad
line.
price.
I'm going to call him at the very end, and I actually would love a price on straight to voicemail. I don't know what the yes would be on.
It never goes straight to voicemail. It never does.
What's the price on him laying on the couch, looking at the phone, seeing who it is, and not answering?
$6.
I mean, he might be sweating like the Abilene Christian Utah Tech game that starts in a little while. I mean, he's probably watching this night of ridiculous college basketball. I mean, Northeastern's playing Hofstra right now. Western Kentucky's playing Kennesaw State. He's probably involved, and he forgot. He literally forgot. You've texted us 10 times about being here on the show, emailed us, done everything you could. I sent him a text. Please come. We need AB's going to do it. He hates the Super Bowl. He's going to do it. Sammy put the whole thing together. Ghosted me too.
If he was here, he would say PTs and 1H. That's what's happening.
We were
1H.
sitting in a bar in Boston. That's when you guys came out to open up the Encore, I think.
Yep.
And you guys were going to a lot of Celtics playoff games and all that. And we were sitting at the bar, at my bar, the one night, and like there were a group of good-looking girls. And I was like, Mo, you should go talk to these girls. And because he was talking about girls and all this, and I'm like, hey, right over there, I'll come wing for you. And and he's like not paying attention. And I'm like, Mo. And I look down, and he's got the Score app open, and he's watching UT Rio Grande or something. And
Perfect.
I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, dog, I got this first half for $1 million or something.
1H.
Like it's Cal Baptist against Texas Rio Grande on a Saturday night in Boston, and he is sweating bullets on this game.
There's nobody better at it. There's nobody better.
The man lives and breathes it, which is the best and probably worst thing about the man.
No doubt. Let me get to some comments here. Kevin Hilmer says, Sammy, let's go. Bach. Get the fire sauce, pack it up, pour it in some Jameson.
Ooh.
Fire Irish whiskey. It's Super Bowl week. Honestly, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Have you done that before?
I do fire packets on the show sometimes.
Okay.
This is from David Sharapan.
Yeah.
Sammy P doing work in all caps.
I was enjoying the show before I was allowed into the show. I was in the green room trying to get the chat alive, and I saw that. You were doing work early in the show.
Jose says, cheers, fellas. Hope you all are enjoying your week. It is Thursday night, which I see Alan's got something going there. Mikey Mills, go Birds.
Millsy.
We got Dr. Eck with an emoji. I don't know what that emoji is. It looks like a monster. It looks like a Crash Bandicoot character, actually.
Looks like a trader that's chasing NBA injuries.
This is from Michael Davis. Awesome to talk about the NBA, but it's just a bad game. It's tough. And then Jeff Nadeau checking in. Have a great show. Speaking of Nadeau.
Whoa. Oh, what has this guy been doing?
Dave, I have a Spaces problem myself. I think you watch the Spaces more than I do.
I am guilty as charged. I literally am riveted at the same time, questioning everything about my life while it's going on. I can't stop listening. I can't wait to see who steps up to the plate next. I've heard a lot of stuff over the years in the books. I mean, I learned the business down in the islands. I mean, I lived down there in Curacao, did a stint in a DR with people who were literally booking out of their pocket, but they were probably hiding from some agency somewhere or some people looking for them in the States. I can't believe the stuff that I'm hearing on these Spaces. Thank God Nadeau is doing what he's doing. He's helping his kid Elf. I don't know what the hell's going on. Pizzola's Bobby Pizza has taken a whole life of its own when he jumps in there. Sammy, I literally don't know. Like, everything stops. I've turned off the television. I've made the kid go to bed the other night. I said, you can't be around while these Spaces are on. I need to listen to this. And then after like 3.5 hours, I'm like, why did I do that? But I can't stop.
It's unbelievable. And I think it's very funny that the new trend has been over the last couple of nights that I've listened, at least, which is basically every night. Who am I kidding? And she's like, what are you? I'm like, the Spaces are on right now. Go to bed. I'm gonna go downstairs. And the dude's tearing somebody a new one. But the simple question of these people that are selling stuff or have Discords, and people are asking these people who are selling things, what is your edge? It's a very simple question. People can't answer, Alan. And these people have 50,000 followers, 70,000 followers, selling you something, Discord, package, whatever. And when somebody asks this person, what is your edge? They can't answer, which is just to say, I mean, people are fools paying for some of this stuff. Fools.
I mean, I don't know how much you're following what they're uncovering with our friends in Washington, D.C., but it's kind of the same type of sell job is the way I look at it. Just a bunch of people getting people to do dumb stuff and getting away with it.
It's fascinating. these people are saying they're making $30,000 a month on selling Discords, like Discord
How?
membership.
For what?
Well, because they can't lose. I am not Pass for Pass 6 years ago. Until that, it was only legal in faraway places or Las Vegas. So it was kind of controlled. Now it's wide open and it's the Wild West. But nobody loses on social media. I can't believe this. I am shocked that it's that easy. And all this time, taking all these bets, all this stuff, seeing these people. I mean, I've seen people win. I've seen them lose too. Like, I'm learning so much from the young kids, and I just wonder how easy it is to open a Discord. And I don't know, with you're looking at one side and selling the other side and this and that, you got multiple people in there. I mean, if we open a Discord, Sammy, and I give out the Chiefs and you give out the Eagles, one of us is going to be right. They're going to pay to find out your picks next. And then you're going to get the bartender and he's going to give out a play and we're going to, play off of that. And who knows what? What are we doing? Actually staying honest and doing content? I don't know.
History repeats itself.
Why am I putting my record at the bottom of every sheet of plays I put out? I should just say that I'm up 20 units, although I'm not selling anything. But I put my record there forever. 74 and 68 this season, up 0.1 units. Yay. Although I will say, guys, the future stuff has been very good. Eagles to win the NFC, Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, which, Dave, I've told you I bet every summer at 6-1.
Yep.
If you're not, you're silly. And then the best part about that bet, if you bet the Chiefs every August at 6-1, you don't have to hate watch them go to the Super Bowl every year. You enjoy it. So you cash the Eagles ticket. Now I got 6-1 on the Chiefs. I bet a little on the Eagles. I do like the Eagles in the game. I mean, full transparency. I bet off of some of the Chiefs. And then tonight, if Barkley wins the Offensive Player of the Year tonight, woo, I'm going to throw a party.
Oh, that's tonight?
That's the award shows tonight.
Oh.
He was 25-1 to win the Offensive Player.
Drunk high or both? Both is if Barkley wins, it's both minus
both
8,000.
Both is off the board.
That's off the board.
They're not even booking that. You can't even. 5 times Tony's not even taking that action. There's no way. I was actually thinking about this the other day because you mentioned the kids in the spaces, and I think the kid Elf is doing a good job. I mean, he's mucking it up. He's in the mud. He's inviting a bunch of people that are going to fight, and conflict is good. Like chaos and conflict are good. Colin Cowherd always talks about that. You'd rather be conflicting or chaotic than be boring.
Yeah.
Fine. But a lot of these kids, I was thinking about this the other day, that are 21 and up, that don't know what it was like to meet people at the White Castle on Stony Island or go to the Western Union and wire money to Margita Martinez Hernandez Gonzalez, or have
3 names usually, not 4.
or have Mikey Muscles track you down for $250 on the south side of Chicago when your phone dies. And like, they don't know how good they got it to just deposit money into a legal account and be able to parlay 8 things together. Like they just don't know, Dave, how good they've got it.
They have no idea. And it's not to say that they need to know, but I think they have to have an understanding because it's not this easy. It's not supposed to be this easy. And if you scam people, eventually the scam runs out. If you beat people, like nowadays, it's getting harder and harder to win because there's PPHs that shut you off or just stiff you. The book never stiffed the player before. The player stiffed the book. Now the books are like, I ain't paying you. What are you going to do? So the players are getting attitudes and it goes back and forth. There used to be a level of respect in this business, Sam. Not to say that everybody was on the up and honest, but I don't know. I learned it very young and I was around people that did it. I wasn't aware that they were doing it. It was low key. Everybody was low key. And then when we did it offshore, we had to advertise to get customers, but it was low key. We were handling millions and millions of dollars. We didn't tell anybody. And then, you couldn't tell anybody when you came home. What'd you do? I was away working in an office for a while, and then come out to Vegas and you see the stuff that goes on in here and you're like, where are we going? That's my concern. I mean, like, where does this all end up?
I don't know. Legalization was great for a lot of things. It was bad for a lot of other things. Let me get to a couple more comments here from Bernie. I joined a very popular Discord just to see for myself. One dude gave out 25 parlays per day. It confirmed my beliefs. Hey, if you bet 25 parlays, you have a pretty good chance to win a couple, right? And then Mike chiming back in, 33-1. Cheers for that. Let's go. He had Barkley, offensive player. So can I count that on my record? Like I didn't officially tweet that out. I can claim that, right? 25-1 on Barkley. Okay,
right?
Good. I'm not going to, but
no.
Those that know. I want to know, Alan, how many times in Vegas did people come up to the counter Saturday or Sunday, Super Bowl weekend, and ask to bet on the anthem or the Gatorade or the halftime show?
Yeah, I mean those ones. I'd say at least when you're a writer, you probably hear them more. But I would say like I at least heard it in passing 2 to 3 times per prop that we can't ever book for sure. Like every single Super Bowl. So it's
so
silly.
So many things.
But Dave, you booked that offshore. You booked all that stuff. I imagine the handle on the Taylor Swift stuff this year is going to be insane. Offshore.
Yeah, I still talk to some guys that are doing it down south, and they do a lot of handle on that. Small limits, but they take a high volume of bets. And there's a real thing. You were talking about it when we just started all this. There's a big move to the under. There's nobody betting the other side. Nobody. It's a one-way ticket. It's a one-way decision. And you're sitting there hoping that it goes over. I'm glad that Nevada doesn't do it. We didn't do it when I was down there because it was the late 90s and we were just trying to book the games. And
okay.
I mean, I'm so old doing it. We offered 6-point even money teasers. 6-point even money teasers.
6 points now. I saw DraftKings the other day had 6 points at $1.38.
Yeah. Yeah. That's competitive. I mean, it's usually minus 140 or minus 150. So it was crazy. Taking the bets was enough, and it usually should be. I mean, Chris said it once. I forget who originally said it, but somebody said minus 110 built all this, and minus 110, is enough. You're taking all these bets at plus 110. It should be enough if you know what you're doing and you have your business and know who's betting what. But it's not, because now there's a prop on everything. Does there need to be a prop on everything? I don't think so.
Well, I did radio today in Chicago, and one of the first things the host asked me about was the anthem. And then one of the second things was the Gatorade. And I've told this guy, who I love dearly, I've told him every year, you can't bet the anthem in America. And he still leads with it. And he enjoys it. And look, people have Super Bowl parties. We've been to parties where you go to somebody's house and there's a prop sheet and, it's over under on the anthem, what color's the Gatorade, all that stuff. I mean, it's more friendly stuff and small offshore bets than anything. But I'm looking at Mason's shop right now. He's got 89 Taylor Swift props on the game. 89. And he's got 73 on the broadcast. Like, what color will Tom Brady's tie be? Who will Jason Kelce be sitting next to? That's got to be a nightmare in the back, grading all this stuff.
The worst. AB, can you imagine having to do that? I mean, I texted today with Adam Burns, and I said, "Are you okay?" And he said, "I hate this effing game."
It's the worst. It's the absolute worst for us behind the counter. There's nothing good about it. But I will say this. I want to see, let's get Motoi out to New Orleans on location. Let's take out, I don't know who's doing the anthem. I'm assuming some
John Batiste. He's a Louisiana musician.
It had to be a guy this time. That's
very sexy keyboard action. We talked about it last week. He's going to play that piano for 30 seconds and then do the song. Okay. So make sure you're checking the language. If you bet this anthem, make sure you're getting words only, because he might play that fucking piano for 50 seconds and then do the song. But if it's words only, I don't think he's going to crack 2 minutes.
Oh my God.
Let's really get everybody excited, and let's all of a sudden pull this guy last minute and throw Kendrick in there for the national anthem. Let's really jazz this game up right off from the jump.
I'm surprised they don't have Will Taylor Swift make a cameo during the anthem. That's one of the very few props they don't have. They have who will they show first during the national anthem, Donald Trump or Taylor Swift? Like, that's a prop offshore.
Sam, how much do you think the little consigs have on Taylor Swift props?
Please.
Are you booking the kids yet, Dave? Are you booking the kids?
I don't know what happened in this house, but my wife loves the Chiefs. My mother-in-law loves the Chiefs. Little Consig is 11. She's with me. We're holding court. We need the Eagles. We just don't want to see it because they've been annoying more than ever. But my middle one texted me yesterday and said, who's going to, right in the middle of the day, like 11 o'clock in the morning here, who's going to win the Super Bowl? I said, why are you asking me this right now? And she said, it's extra credit on my quiz. She's in college. And I said, well, who do you think is going to win? She said, I think it's going to be the Chiefs. I said, okay, well, then put the Chiefs. And she goes, well, who do you think is going to win? I said, I want the Eagles to win. I think the Eagles are going to win. So she said, well, what do I do? And I said, what do you mean, what do you do? Put what you want. And she goes, well, I think I'm going to change it because you seem to be right more than you're wrong, Daddy. And I said, is your professor an Eagles fan? She said, yes. I said, put the Eagles.
Eagles.
Please, put the Eagles. She calls me afterward and says, you know why I asked you? Because I think you'll get it right. And I reminded her and I said, Kelsey, what have I told you since you've been a little kid? Nobody knows shit. The Super Bowl was the ultimate nobody knows shit. It's unbelievable.
I thought she maybe started a Discord. I was a little concerned.
Not yet.
For a second.
Not yet. Stay out of them Discords.
Matt's checking in. I hope that was the most stressful question on the test. I do too.
Yeah, she weighed it back and forth. She had Chiefs and changed it. Now that's like changing your ticket at the window, AB. You know how that goes, right?
Yep.
Chiefs by double digits.
Well, it's a good thing she didn't pick both because that would have been very touty of your daughter.
Correct. Correct. We don't do that stuff. No.
Side note here, DJ saying Polymarket just moved the MVP to heavy Josh Allen. Now, this is a very polarizing topic because Lamar got first team all pro, and usually that player wins the MVP. My biggest nightmare tonight, not that I want to talk about awards that long, but my biggest nightmare would be Allen gets the MVP and they go, all right, Lamar's the offensive player of the year. I might cry. I might. Like that could, I'd be even money to cry if Barkley doesn't win.
I'll take even money.
You'll take even money on the cry?
Oh, for sure.
I would delete.
I might cry.
I would delete so much whiskey if Barkley somehow came out without winning. Because I saw one book had him up last week minus 3,000 to win it. That would be a tough beat. And then,
I'm super gun shy on awards after I watched a guy die on the field and not win comeback player of the year. When that happened, I said, "Oof, this is a rough market."
That was one of the wildest stretches in the history of the NFL, from Hamlin going down, not breathing, and then all of a sudden they go to commercial and it's Whopper, 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 Whopper.
Dude, man, that was the bet. That was the craziest one I'd seen since they had like the air sirens and the Applebee's like cowboy dancing when they were like, there's a war going on in Ukraine. It's on CNN. I don't know if you guys saw that, but look it up on YouTube. It's unreal. The transition.
The stuff AB remembers. It's unreal. I mean, it's just. It's you
tries
pull
to bring
stuff
it back
out.
to politics, doesn't he?
No.
It's just hilarious. It's just hilarious.
The stuff he remembers, it's scary. Like, because I've gone back and listened to the old cash consideration shows and the stuff we used to do, and he would just drop something, and I'm trying to keep it together and make sure Mo stays focused. And when we were doing guests and all these other things, like Sammy, when you were on, I told you before, it's the third most listened to episode of all time, and you were on the clock. You at one point said during the show, I am going to pass out in 5 minutes. So you have to end the show. And I was like, oh, wow. And you were serious because I think both cashed by the end of that show.
Wasn't that the show when I was flying from Boston to Vegas and I had to sit on the tarmac for a couple hours in Vegas. And I think I was texting you, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And you said we could do it on the phone. And I said, okay. And then we ended up doing it on the phone. I was in this airplane for 8 hours.
No, that was a different time because you were sitting at home in Boston, but you had partaken in some different things, and you were literally on the clock. You were literally on the clock. And
they all run together, Dave. All these.
Oh, believe me, as much content as you're doing now, you're up early every morning. That's good. It's fun, but like people don't understand. Like we're working too. Being right and not trying to mess up is part of the job. And, sounding like you know what you're talking about. And then at the same time, checking numbers, looking at lines, making this call, going to see Tommy the Lip and all this other crap. There's a lot of responsibility with it, Sammy. You make it look easy.
Well, I appreciate that. 3 hours a day is a lot for gambling. And the worst part about a daily gambling show is, as good as the show is and as good as we are at beating markets and hitting good numbers, I will still have days where I will be wrong about everything on a given day. And it's not always easy. We do bets at the end of the show, usually like 1 or 2 bets, but there will be a 3-hour show where I will predict 10 things and the predictions go 1 and 9. There will be other days where they go 7 and 3, 8 and 2, but the more you bet, the more volatility you have. This is from Jay Buck, who you guys all know out here in Boston. Shout out to all these heroes.
Need better heroes, Jay.
Definitely not a hero. Alan and Dave are heroes. They are heroes. I am definitely not a hero.
AB, where are you watching the game Sunday?
Honestly, I don't even know yet. I haven't had a Super Bowl off since.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what to do with myself. The fact I'm not sweating every bet that's coming in right now is a weird feeling.
The first one I didn't work. Thank God Sammy was in town and said, I'm down at the Westgate. I got back in the book because it's a weird vibe. Like you're itching, you did it for a long time. I did it for 17 years here in Vegas. And that's Sammy, I came and without the intention of staying, but it was so much fun. And the girls were there and, Mo was eventually coming and we were hanging out. I wanted to be in the book the year after I didn't work. I don't know if I want to be in the book now, though. Sammy, where are you going to be?
I'll be home. But I have breaking news. Next Super Bowl, the party's back on in Vegas.
Really?
Yep, it's back on. Mm-hmm. We did 4 years in a row in Vegas. And great. I didn't live there for 3 of the 4. So I was just going into Vegas for the Super Bowl. And the one year, you were there the one year the Barbers were there, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, the Barbers were so disgusted at how much money the room had on the national anthem. They had to get a separate location in the second half. And then Big Dan with the punt prop, betting on the over on the longest punt. They punted 12 times every punt. Boom! He did not get over. He lost by a half yard. No, but next year, Super Bowl Sunday, we're back at the Westgate for sure.
Who's going to be in it
next year?
Yeah,
it's not the Lions. Lions are dead.
Lions are dead.
They're dead. That's it. That was their window. They're dead.
Alan, who is it? Don't
we took their coach. We took their coach. So
yeah, their coordinator's gone. Their whole offense is gone. They lost their OC, DC, special teams guy. No, not special teams guy. D-line guy, receiver coach. Campbell's the Fresh Prince looking around the empty room. Where's everybody at? That team is so good, yet everybody still wanted out after they lost to Washington. I look, you guys know, you guys have been around this longer than I have. Sometimes you get so close and it falls apart, you never get back.
Yeah. A 2-year window in the NFL is a massive window, and most teams are not the Chiefs.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it very well could fall apart. I hope for that city that they're at least still around playoffs and all that, but I'm very concerned for them in the fact they lost both coordinators, more coordinators behind those coordinators. They still are incredible on offense as far as their talent level, but that defense, all the injuries, they're going to have to do something big. They really should go get Garrett. That's what they should do.
Garrett and Hutch on the same line.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That'd be nasty. They'd probably be fine if they could pull that off.
You ready to say the Falcons are back, AB?
No, absolutely not. You know how I feel about Falcons. That's way back. Anything I say about the Falcons is wrong, Sam, just so you know. So if you guys want to make money, just listen to what I think.
I had over 8.5, not this past season, but 2 seasons ago. I think they finished 8-9 and lost 5 games by less than 4 points.
Yeah. The worst.
Well, that was when Arthur Smith, they'd be down. It'd be 1st and goal at the 1, and he'd have the quarterback in the shotgun, and Robinson be on the sideline. And I'm like, this is perfect. This is exactly what you want. Yeah, the Eagles got all the big guys in there and the fullback, and Arthur Smith's like, let's put the quarterback in the fucking shotgun. We'll put him at the 5, and we'll run sideways with the tight end. Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. Jay just asked, can the Falcons get it going behind Penix?
Oh.
I mean, the upside is that division's terrible, but I don't
It
know.
is.
You know, it's early. It's too early for me. I don't have enough NFL stuff at the moment. So
You're
really,
dialed into the college hoops. Don't lie. I
oh
know you
yeah.
are.
Yeah. No, there's a
College
bigger
baseball starts next week, Alan.
Oh, I know 2 guys that blow that market up, so I don't have a shot to do anything with that. Jesus.
Yeah.
College
The
baseball.
total was 13.5. Now it's 10.5.
I got a better shot at college lacrosse.
Hey, that's
real-
coming up. That's a big one.
Real quick, here are some odds for next year's Super Bowl. Chiefs 6-1, Ravens 650. Love the hold on that. How about the Chiefs at 6, the Ravens at 650, the Bills at 7? That's great. Eagles
Bills
at
are
7.
finished. You can mark, and if in the spirit of Motoi Pearson, you can mark that down. The Bills are finished.
Finished. Okay, so
Ooh.
Bills and Lions both finished as of this show. according to
Lions
Chicken
could
Dinner.
make some moves. Bills, it's just not going to happen.
Chiefs
I don't buy
6,
it.
Ravens 650, Bills 7, Eagles 7, Lions 950, Niners 15, Commanders 20. Talk about a bet I would never make. Commanders at 20-1 would never happen.
Wow.
20, Alan.
I'll take 20 if they have got Garrett.
Okay, well, they're
They're
have
also
Garrett.
in the mix.
Would you take
No,
20
no,
without
but,
Garrett?
it's possible.
Here's the thing. If the ticker says Commanders get Garrett, 20's gone. So you might want
exactly.
to
Yeah. I would consider that. I don't think that's that crazy. Daniels is that good, man. Like that team's they got something. They ran into the actual good defense in the NFC, which I think to Dave's point is the reason he likes the Eagles is that defense is awesome.
That's it.
That's what I hope. All right, so let's get a final score. Dave, what do you got Sunday? Eagles Chiefs.
I keep coming up to 51. So it's either 27-24 or 31-20 Eagles.
Alan?
Oh God. Chiefs 25, Eagles 21.
25.
Under.
Go get that square. Go buy that square.
I listen, here's the thing. If I bet the game from what I know about all the years doing NFL stuff, I'm betting Eagles. But I don't know how many times Patrick Mahomes has to tell you that the math with me doesn't matter. And that's the thing. Like the Niners were quote unquote the right side last year, and you didn't cash the ticket. So
wow. There's been a lot of that with this team, and I'm willing to find out myself. I wanted to show before we leave. This is from, here's the date on this, September 5th, 2024. Experts, which I think experts is a strong word, but pick who will play and win the Super Bowl. So from September 2024, where's our guy at? Where's our guy?
Where's it at?
Where he is? Eagles over Chiefs.
Oh!
Yeah. How about that?
Bad number.
Well, that's not the exacta number. That was the price on Philly to win the Super Bowl. I think the exacta was like 50-1. That's
55-1, Sammy.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, just text me. We could have got that done.
Dave, I didn't even bet it. I didn't even bet it. I bet Eagles NFC and Chiefs Super Bowl and Eagles Super Bowl. So I did much better than whoever this guy is, Greg Auman, who had Texans over Lions. Sorry, Greg.
Hey, 2 playoff teams.
Catch a stray on
Gotta
the
be
show.
somebody worse on there, isn't there?
So
Who's got Panthers?
We can see real quick. Ravens over Lions, Chiefs over. Oh, here we go. Will Hill, our guy. Jets.
Oh Lord.
Woo-wee.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a lot of Chiefs on this list, though. I don't think there's anybody else Eagles. Which
I saw an Eagles, but it said Chiefs over Eagles.
Right.
where? Oh no, I meant Eagles winning.
Oh, Eagles winning. Yeah, I don't see that.
Oh yeah.
Ravens, Eagles, Chiefs, Packers.
They were ready to fire the guy after week 4. Like
the Bear, Chiefs over
the
Eagles.
Bears.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Chris Felica, Chiefs over Eagles.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
He's picking the Bears.
Nobody knows. I got lucky on that one. I'm not going to act like I'm some prophet, but
expert.
Yeah, expert. Chad says, thanks, Sammy P. Great season. Great job. Thank you, Chad. Thank you for all listening to it. If you enjoy this, if you enjoy guys like Alan and Dave, hit that subscribe button on YouTube so you can be a part of this every Thursday. A couple other comments here. Tripp says Commanders 2025 schedule is brutal.
Yeah.
And here we go. This is the best way to close this show off. Dave, Captain Jack. Nobody knows shit.
Especially Discord.
We can name a Discord that. I think that might be the ticket.
There you go.
I don't think there's any way we can top this segment right here with the nobody knows shit. Although I will say one last thing. Thank you, Jerry. Smash that button. I agree. I'm bringing Jack's caption back up. We know bartender's coming Chiefs on Sunday, right?
Oh,
He's got to.
The number's too low. It's
got to.
The number's too low. It's a dice roll.
he went with Washington the last time in the NFC Championship. Washington beat the Eagles. He's going to be like, man, I'm taking the Eagles. As much as I can't wait to listen to this Elf Twitter Spaces bullshit, I can't wait for the bartender's pick for the Super Bowl.
Do you remember the year bartender went Eagles money line and Gainwell to score a touchdown?
No.
And
1 yard line.
No, Gainwell got in. But then they go to the monitor. They go to the monitor and the ref says he's down at the centimeter line.
Oh,
And the bartender texts me and goes, the game's fucking rigged.
yep. Yeah.
Gainwell anytime in the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Legend.
It's
I think
tremendous.
he's going Chiefs, guys. I think he is. But I don't know. I never know. Watch
When
him
he
come
went-
under. Watch him.
when he-
Dave, what if he comes under?
I don't think he'll come under. I'll be shocked if he comes under. How many times did he do a total? I love
How
when the
many
bartender
how
does
many
it.
unders has he given out?
Ever career wise?
I
We're
don't
gonna- you-
track. I don't
The
track.
Excel's
Blake
got to
enough.
start expanding, Sam. We need the real, because I was about to say, I remember when he went Washington double banger, I went, oh baby, Eagles.
Eagles 1H.
Oh
Eagles
yeah.
halftime. Eagles everything.
I just said Eagles, and that was it.
Alt.
So I do have his record all time, season by season. In 2020, the first year of the bartender, 11-23. Awful. 21, he went 24-27. 22, 16-24. 23, he went 29-33. This would be, well, it will be, assuming he doesn't come out with 8 plays on the game. This will be the first winning season for the bartender, but given how this year has gone, that's not really a surprise.
Correct.
I can't wait.
He did double dip Ravens too against Buffalo. So he's lost 4 in the last 2 weeks. He's doubled up and got burned. So
Can't even say he had the wrong side of that game.
I don't know. Well, either way, I'm sorry that Motoi didn't make it. I know there were like 7
Cash
people
all
that
the
were really
tickets.
excited about him being on this show. And
Unbelievable.
he will
Are
not.
three
he will
of us
not
in this
join us.
room.
Right here.
3 of the 7 are here.
Okay.
Alan Berg, Dave Sharapan. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. I'm going to do my thing, get out of here, and hopefully everybody enjoys the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And let's go Eagles. Sorry, Alan.
Basura for life. I'll meet you at the can.
See you at the can. See you boys soon. Thank y'all. Alan Berg, Dave Sharapan, 2 of the greats in Vegas. Been a lot of long nights with those guys when I was living out there. And then when I go back, I still see them. So first quarter under in the game, under 6.5 punts. Goddard to score a touchdown. Gray under on yards and catches, and Eagles plus 1.5. All the prices available at chickenxdinner. And if you did enjoy this show and you like what we're doing here on a Thursday night, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and let's power through. 3 more days, only 3 more days until the Super Bowl. I've been talking about this game over and over and over again, and gonna be honest with you, I can't wait till kickoff. Cash your tickets, make some money. We'll talk to you next time right here on Chicken Dinner.